Okay, so hey INFJ Wells, hey Nicole. Yeah, I saw your message, Nicole. So I'm gonna see what I could do and everything like that, and at least the beast. Okay. And the degrees that I'm gonna be talking about. But tonight I wanna share a story with you guys. It's a serious story. And you know what, to be honest with you guys, I honestly was not looking for this. I wasn't looking for the story. I was fixing to lay down. Okay. And just, try to gather myself. And I was looking into another story. Actually, I was looking to another story. I don't know if you guys heard about the story of the situation in Texas of the guy. I think his name is Nathan or something like that. And he basically, he did a crime. He did a crime. And he injured, and he took away the life of his girlfriend and the girlfriend's mom. Okay, so that was the story that I was originally looking into, looking at, because I saw that the mom was a queen. You know what I mean? She was a hard worker. She was working for, the post office. You know what I mean? She looked like she was just a blue collar mom who probably most likely was a single parent who had recently got married, I believe, in the year 2016. And she was raising her daughter. I think that was her only daughter that she had had. And she raised her daughter to be a queen as well. You know what I mean? And it looks like her daughter was following in her mother's footsteps as far as, walking down the righteous path. And let me make sure, guys, am I still recording? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. But it looks like her mom, she raised her daughter in such a way where, you know what I mean, she would be set up for years to come. You know what I mean? And the girl, as far as I can recall, she was a beautiful lady. You guys, I'm sure you heard about it on Facebook if you're still rolling with Facebook. Um, and it basically was a guy who lost his mind, and he did a crime. He did a crime, and he so anyway, that was the story that I was originally looking up because I really wanted to find out information as to like their birth details, as to where it took place. I was really, really into the story. And then as I was going through the story, this story came up. Okay. This story came up, and I'm telling you, I was not looking for the story. Okay. I didn't even honestly, if you want to let me guys, can you still hear me? Um Honestly, I didn't even hear about this story because, to be honest with you guys, in the year of COVID, because we're in the year of COVID, we're still going through it. We still have the debris and the lingering effects and the energies from 2020, which was heavy and hardcore. But now it's a rollover of energies that's still lingering on in the year of 2021. Hey, Tariq. Hey, Anna J. Nicole. Yeah, I'm gonna try to release that beast, which is the information on the degrees. If not, I think I'm gonna go over it a little bit more again tonight. So even though I don't release the video, I can still go over the information. But a lot of my videos, if you don't catch it live, to be honest with you, I'm not going to pump it out on YouTube. You know what I mean? Because they don't pay me enough for the information that I put forth on YouTube. And on top of all of that, you know what I mean? I'm not into the competition thing. You know what I mean? I wanted to say this real quick before I go into this. And I know this is not going to be, a lot of people may not like it, but I have to say it because it's been on me for, a minute now. But let me explain something to you real quick. Everything that you see, I see. I just want to say that everything that you see, I see. And even if you see something that looks like a slip up, trust me, I saw it too. I just want to make that clear. This is in no cockiness, not even for the people, you know what I mean, that I'm cool with or whatever. I'm definitely not talking to you. I'm talking to specific people on my channel that I want you to understand that everything that you see that you think that I didn't see, I see and I saw. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we put that clear. Also, I'm one of my biggest pet peeve, I was saying that to myself tonight because this is something that I've been dealing with a lot since I was a young girl. And I got to find where this energy is coming from in my chart to come to a greater understanding why it's such a big pet peeve of mine that I don't really fuck with. And I'm going to go ahead and say it because I have to say it in order to release that energy so I can move on to other things. But I just want to make it clear that I'm not into the competition thing. I don't know, for some reason or another, like anytime I feel like somebody's kind of trying to come at me or like with a competition thing, like for some reason, it doesn't make me feel good. And I'm not going to be shoulder to shoulder with you like I'm in a football field ready to tackle on something. I'm not doing that. So if that's what you're about, then you could do that. But like, I said last year, I'm going to stay in my lane. And that's the lane that I want to be on. I want to be in my lane. I don't want to be in a lane where there's a lot of people shuffling and shucking and jiving and trying to like get in front of me and trying to see what I'm saying. I don't want to, I don't want, trust me, I want a clear path in my way. I want clarity in my life. I've been in a lot of toxic situations and I don't want the clutter. I don't want the clutter and the competition. I don't like that. Okay. So I just want to hurry up and make sure that I put that out there that I don't want the competition. This is what I'm trying to figure out right now for whatever reason. It may be a spiritual thing that I'm trying to figure out right now. As far as this astrology thing. And as I go deeper into astrology, I realize that it is something that will come up if you have certain placements like I have in my chart. Trust me, when I first started this channel, hey Huey, when I first started this channel, I swear to God, guys, I was not into astrology like I'm into it now. I swear to God that I wasn't. You know what I mean? I was into something else. You know what I mean? And I was brainwashed and I was made to believe and I was programmed and trained to do certain things in my life, and astrology was not it. So I'm saying that to say this, that, this is not a competition thing. If this is a money game, if this is like, something that you're trying to pull off on people to try to get money from people, you got to do that. That's your path. That's what you got to do. You got to gain people to get the information on astrology. But, in my path, for now, I can't prostitute the information. For whatever reason, I'm supposed to find out certain information, and that's what I'm here to do. Okay. Also, whatever I do on the back end, I do that, and I'm not promoting it because I don't want you in my way. I'm not in a battlefield with you. Okay. I just, it's so sickening and gross for me to have to say this, but I have to say this because I don't want to be battling and in competition with nobody with what I'm doing on other ends of my life. I don't. I really don't. I don't like it. It's suffocating for me to feel that energy, and I don't like that energy. And it's sad that I have to come on here and I have to say it, but I have to say it just as a reminder for me to know what I'm dealing with in the situation that I'm in right now. And I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the competition mode. I'm here for real information. I'm here to find out the truth on a spiritual level. And if this is a pimp or prostitute money game for you with astrology and spirituality and trying to pimp people out, I'm not in that game. I'm not in that race. I don't know. I can't be for whatever reason. So I have to say it because I'm so fucking disgusted at the situation that I'm dealing with right now, and I'm grossed out. I'm really grossed out, and I'm not really feeling things that's going on the back end. I can't even come out forthright and say what it is because it's so fucking gross on the back end. And let me tell you something, I'm going to find out in my chart why I don't like the competition thing. I don't like it. I'm not going to compete. I'm not going to compete with you with this thing right here. I just want to know the information. I want to pay it forward. I don't want to pimp and prostitute people on a spiritual thing because this is not what it's about. So I don't want to keep going over and over and over and over with this because I'm sick of it. Something happened recently, guys, and I'm not happy about the situation. You know what I mean? But let me move on and let me move forward. Um so anyway, like I said, I was looking for the other lady and the daughter and stuff like that, who, when I looked up the information on these women, you know what I mean? I saw a queen. I saw a lady who was a single mother, I believe, who just had recently got married in 2016, and she was working for the post office, and I believe that was her only daughter, and she was raising her daughter, and it looks like she did a damn good job, to the point where her daughter, from my understanding, she kind of like graduated with some type of degree, or she was in a degree program that was going to put her on the path of success, on the path of stability. And she got hooked up with some dirty boy who was jealous. He was jealous of her. I know a lot of people don't like it when I say that word, but it's a real word, and it exists in our society. It exists in our relationships. It exists in our homes. It exists in our jobs. It exists in our families. It exists in our society. It exists on YouTube. It exists on Instagram. It exists on social media. So even though people don't like it when I talk about the word jealousy, it exists. And sometimes it exists in relationships that is very close knitted. Very close knitted. And this is why you are finding that crimes of passion, domestic violence is on the rise, especially during this time of COVID, because people are being forced to be indoors with people that they have decided to be in relationship, as far as marriage, having children with, or just business relationship, whatever the deal is. People have decided to be in company of people that they don't really get along with, but it looked good on paper. It looked good online. It looked good to society that you were with somebody who had the academics and the accolades and the degrees or whatever, and you joined in and you performed this type of look good. But physically it looked good, visually it looked good, but spiritually it's not good. I swear I never heard about this story. I never heard about the story. As much as I think I'm lingering and swiveling and swirling online, I didn't hear about the story. I swear I didn't. I was looking up the other people's story. And to be honest with you, I'm going to go ahead and keep it 1,000 with you guys. During the time of COVID, we are in hardcore times right now. See, COVID is an energy that is coverting and is covering the homes of families and businesses and society and relationships and communication, and just relationships that was working before, but during the time of COVID is putting on a spiritual oppression on society, relationship, schools, money, businesses, the government, politics, everything that you can think of. COVID is fucking covering us with an energy of oppression. And a lot of people should not be oppressed. A lot of people, a lot of people are not made to be cooped up and cuffed up in the crib, hiding from an energy that they are not directly affected from. So, can you, yo, Tyreek, why did you say that? Um, Yo, Tyreek, why did you say that? Anyway, Nicole, I swear to God, I'm gonna go. You know what? I have to go over the video. It's a lot of things going on my channel, and I have to, I have to be cautious. I'm not gonna keep my videos up and open. You know what I mean? I don't want what YouTube is paying me. It's not enough for my information. I don't want you guys to get the impression that I'm like a bummy girl or whatever, and I'm not about my coins because I am. Okay. I don't want you guys to get that impression that I don't understand the value of exchanges because I do. Okay. Just I do. I do. Um, understand the value of exchanges, but after reviewing my chart, after just reviewing the whole situation, I do understand that there's just some things that you can't really put a value on, and sometimes you just have to get to a point where you have to pay it forward, because paying it forward is going to get you to a point where it's going to bring in. Okay, but it's not even about that, to be honest with you. um but we have to go forward with this information. um yeah. So this lady on my screen, she is 30 years old. She was born January 13, 1981. And I did pull up some information from what I found online, which I'm going to share with you guys, because again, this is an astrology channel and stuff like that. And even though it's hardcore at times, we have to go through these things to help us. So anyway, this is her husband right here. He's a Gemini. His birthday is June 16th, 1987. And guess what? It equals up to the number 33. But when I looked up his number and I saw that it equaled up to the number 33, I also was looking at his number again, and I saw that his number, of course, was June 16th, 1987. And right there, that's the number 66 with the year of 1987, which is equaling up to the number 33. So he is 66 over 33. It's a fickle number. Okay. Um, I want to also point something out to you. Like, I just, because I don't want to talk only about the bad. And, for anybody that has like these degrees in your chart, I don't want you to get, scared or whatever. When you have degrees that are heavy duty, that means that you are at a pinnacle point in your life. And to a degree, you have a power. So this guy, he was at his 33 degrees. And he was Gemini, I believe. I'm not going to share all the information that I pulled up on him, because, but I did pull up some information. And some of the information that I did pull up was that his Venus, let me go to his chart. So he was born June 16, 1987. And I believe this is his chart. I may not be right and exact, but I believe that this is his chart. Hold on for a second. Let me just check the chat. Okay. So, yeah, so I believe that this is his chart. So if this is his chart, I just want to point something things out to you guys. So again, he's a Gemini with a sun at 24 degrees. Okay, but I just wanted to show you something that was very important in these charts right here. So this is his chart. So he has the moon in Aquarius at 22 degrees. So that means that, again, this is just one of many meanings. This is just one of many, like millions of meanings. So you can hear this meaning on this channel. Does not mean that, other people are not going to come up with their meanings from findings and from information that they've gathered. So you want to look at all the information that they've gathered and come to a greater understanding. Okay. But for now, from what I'm seeing, looking at just the basic chart of his, is that he had a moon in Aquarius at 22 degrees. So there's a good chance that this guy, he was attracted to women that had like Aquarius tendencies. Okay. But his wife that he was married to, she was born January the 13th. And I believe she was a sun in Capricorn. But look how she had the sun in Capricorn at 22 degrees. And he had the sun in Gemini at 24 degrees, but his moon in Aquarius was at 22 degrees. Okay. So 22 degrees is in his chart and 22 degrees is in her chart. Okay. So I just want you guys to look at that real quick. Also, again, I'm not going to go through all the notes on my on the stuff that I've gathered because it's sad, but I have became enlightened that people um are obviously listening to my channel and they're not giving me credit, and it's okay, because spiritual credit is worth more than your physical credit. You know what I mean? To a degree. Don't think I'm not about my money, because I am. But I'm not gonna give it all up. Okay. But I just want to point some stuff out to you guys, because I want you to come to like an understanding of what we have been talking about for so long on this channel, and that is the 22 degrees. There's not a lot of information online talking about the 22 degrees. It's a little bit of sprinkles of information, but it doesn't really go into depth. But as we go through the information of the climate of what's going on through the time of COVID, we are putting the spiritual puzzle together, and we're trying to get to some type of understanding. And I'm looking at patterns here that is not making complete sense, but it's kind of like coming to understanding. Astrology is so deep and so difficult. It's like, it's like the cubist zirconia. Just when you think you got it, you don't. You know what I mean? There's just one piece that's missing and you're not connecting it. You think that you're smart enough to connect it, but you're not. You know what I mean? The puzzle is more smarter than you. You have to figure it out. So again, I'm not presenting this information to you as this is the final all in all, but I'm just presenting to you like some information and some statistics that I'm pulling up on a spiritual level, that is just, it's something going on with these like numbers and degrees in these houses, that we kind of like want to put it together and try to make like a lot of sense of it, to the point where we're not going to go around and live our lives like the weather forecast. And every day we're checking the weather and seeing if we should fickle or if we should not, if we should dance or if we should not. We want to live a life normally. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can get so deep into this information to the point where you don't live your life normally. You're like a robot walking, you're just ready for the chip. You know what I mean? You want to live your life casually in a flowing manner, to the point where you just want to enjoy your time on this planet. Enjoy your time on the path that you were given, and live your life. And don't live your life in fear, but you have to be aware at the same time. So, yeah, so I just wanted to point out to you guys really quickly that once again, I didn't know about the story. I had no clue that this had just took place in our lives during COVID. Domestic violence is on the rise in our culture. Domestic violence is on the rise. It's a serious thing going on right now. People want to live in La La Land, and they want to live on YouTube, and they want to pretend that, everything is gravy when it's not in the Navy. Okay. And we are living real lives. We're not living fake lives where we can get up and we can pull out the clown bag and put on these wigs and put on this makeup and these eyelashes and this lipstick and these fucking clothes on a stink body and present ourselves as perfection. But in the background, it's not like that. See, we can't continue to live our lives like that out of a bag of tricks that we're putting forth on the internet for people to be under the illusion that we're living in a fantasy lifestyle, and that's not it. Okay, we're living a real life out here, and people are oppressed, they're depressed, and they're stressed, and they're under the fucking oppression of COVID and these rules that are being implemented on. And if I'm not sure if you guys are awake, or if you're still caught up in the vlogging lifestyle of people that's trying to present to you a fantasy lifestyle that is not true. But we are in a major transition right now. I don't know, I know you guys know about, astrology and stuff like that, and you've heard about Pluto, and you heard about the eighth house, and you heard about transformation, and you heard about the 12th house, how you got to walk through darkness, and then you have to be reborn again, and you have to go through all these trials and tribulations. If you didn't know, but we're going through that right now, and it's heavy and it's hard. And you better not get too comfortable in the space that you've been sitting in, because they got another agenda for us, and it's a big agenda. So for these past few weeks, I've been coming across these stories of like domestic violence situations that have been taking place in the home, and some of the patterns that I have been picking up on is Mars and Cancer. And again, I'm telling you guys, like I didn't even know about this Jamaican lady. They keep saying that she's Jamaican and her husband's Jamaican. I don't know why they keep emphasizing the fact that she's Jamaican. So what? She's a woman, she's a mother, Her children are young. You know, he was a sergeant. He was a soldier. He was a protector. He was a provider. They lived in a nice home. They lived in a nice community. They were doing what I guess, the American dream. They were doing everything that the standard said that they should do. But somewhere along the line of life, something went wrong. And something went wrong. This lady lost her life. She was 30 years old. She had 2 kids, I think. And okay, so she lost her life. And today I cried, and I had to come up out of it. I had to come up out of it. And it was a conscious coaching out of that. And it was a lot of thoughts. It was a lot of thoughts. And I was hurt. I was hurt and I was in pain. But there was a bigger picture behind everything that I was thinking about today. And something was bigger behind those tears that I had today. And like I said, when I came home, I was planning on going to sleep. I was planning on going to sleep and waking up, on some lazy shit and just not giving a fuck. That's my plan. And then I was just laying down, and like I said, I was looking because the other story had me fucked up. The story had me like kind of like fucked up on the edge, and I really, really wanted to know their birth details. I wanted to know his birth details, and I was looking and I was grinding, and it was nothing up. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something real quick on the record. Let me tell you something real quick on the record. Something I had found out when dealing with death. When you die, everybody gets alerted. Everybody. Everybody gets alerted. Everybody. You hear me? Everybody gets alerted. Everybody gets alerted when you die. Everybody. When you die, it's a spirit that comes on, and It's a dark angel that comes in, and they don't. You can't fuck with that energy when you die. It's a dark angel that comes in, and everything gets sealed and stamped and stopped when you die. There's a presence that comes in, and it puts a stamp on the time that you die, where you died, how you died. It's a very dark, dense, it's a very heavy energy. It comes in, it's like you can't fuck with the energy. You can't fuck with it. When it comes in heavy, and everybody and anything gets alerted. All flags are raised when you die. All flags get raised. But there is dark angels that are still lurking around, that are filled with jealousy and envy and hatred, and they still want to bring you down even after death. And they're still there, still treading, fighting, still fighting you, even after death, to bring you as low as you can go. And that's when you're dealing with the darkest of the angels. And you don't know what narcissistic energy is like until you get to that level. You don't ever want to get to that level of darkness. But they're out there. And they want to bring you low, baby. They want to bring you so low in life. As low as you can go. And they're going after everybody. Everybody. I don't, I'm just. Oh my God. Woo! Jesus Christ. Hold me down, Lord Jesus. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yo, I got triggered like a motherfucker. Hold on. Woo. The triggering is out of control. Okay. Oh, anyway, hold on, let me see. So you said crazy. I have two friends. One is 46, one is 40, pregnant. Her first set of kids are adults. I'm scared for her because she just met this guy, her trainer, after leaving her old relationship 6 months ago. Yeah, so one of the things that I've learned in life is that, we all have a path to walk and we all have a path that we're going to have to take. And, some of these paths are going to come with lessons that we're going to have to learn. It's going to be hard lessons. You know what I mean? Some of them we can avoid with knowledge and an understanding of ourselves, of course. But at the same time, with ignorance and bad karma and bad seeds that we plant, you know what I mean? We have to understand. So it's a hard path. It's a very hard path. This couple here is an ideal couple. You know what I mean? How many of us are going out there looking for the perfect partner? Okay. We're looking for the perfect woman. We're looking for the perfect body, the perfect personality, the perfect responses, the perfect Instagram, the perfect YouTube personality. We're looking for all this perfection. We're looking for a robot in a human, and we're not on that standard. We're looking for perfection when we're not perfected. Okay, so we're looking for for a person who, if you're looking for that perfect person, the question is, are you that perfect person? So so um so Lolo Kitty said, right before we come to Earth, we sign soul contracts that determine our pain, success, and death. Do you believe in that, Astro? Yeah. You know what? I had a conversation with my father just a few days ago. Thank God, that I still have the ability to talk to my father, even though, I say this as nonchalantly as I am. But the truth is, my kids never They're never gonna get that chance. They're never gonna get that opportunity. Okay? They're never gonna get that chance. It's a hard pill to swallow. And you have to wake up and realize that you know what? They never gonna get that chance. They never gonna get that chance. But just because you don't get that chance, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that you fall? Does that mean that you are abandoned? Let me go back to the story. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Because you know what? We can feel abandoned. We can feel sorry for ourselves. We can feel like we don't have. We can feel like we're broken. We can feel all everything. But what we gotta realize is that the truth is that this woman, at the age of 30, Sun sign Capricorn, Venus Aquarius at 9 degrees, was with a man who had a sun sign in Gemini. And he was at his 30 degrees. He was at his 33 degrees. And looking at them on paper, baby. See, y'all want to work with paper? Y'all want to work with a perfectionist person? He was a perfectionist person, and so was she, to some people's eyes. And on paper, it looked good, honey. She was a sergeant. Okay. She was a real estate agent. They had 2 kids. They was 30. They were married. They lived in a house. Everything that you dream and want, everything that you want in your fantasy life, she had. Okay. But there were problems. And even though you want to live in your fantasy and you don't want to face reality, real life don't work like that. Okay. And mm, ooh, Jesus, hold me down, because I don't even want to talk about my life. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But it was a hard road to travel. Okay? It was a hard road to travel. If you want to put out the fantasy life of you living in the house and you got a man and you got these kids and you just dress and fly, you driving and everything. I did that already. Thank God that I did. So I don't have the desire to do it again. And he had Venus in Gemini. He had Venus in Gemini at 5 degrees. And basically, just going over his chart really quickly, it came up that this is the type of dude that would argue with you in the house. And the arguments, it would lead to a point where it can cause like physical violence and losing control in the home. Also, it came up that jealousy and a warlike behavior and sharpness with the mind. Tears came up, violence came up. Um, but this is only the dark traits. I don't want you to guys to think that, if you have these degrees in your chart, that this is what it's going to mean. This is the dark side of it. This is when you don't give a fuck about life. This is when you're a narcissist and you don't care about stepping over people, including your family. This is when you have given up on everything. And you think that, doing this to your own flesh and blood is going to bring you to a higher degree. This is when you have lost your mind. This is when you think that you're going to live peacefully after you destroy your own foundation. Okay? This is the illusion of what life can be like if you are not on your fucking D. You know what I mean? So a person with this type of energy, I already showed you the chart, um can be cold. This person will most likely have weapons of mass destruction. This person could be malicious and just not a good person. Just like a military type of behavior on the person that they're attacking. Okay. Um, Also, I was looking at her chart, and again, I may not be right, but it's coming up that she's a sun sign Capricorn. She was born January 13th, 1991, and she is equaling up to a 30 degree. So he was at his 33 degrees when he did this crime. She was at her 30 degree. She had Venus in Aquarius at 9 degrees. So it is coming up that, definitely, this is the type of person who should be careful of the type of people that she chooses in partnership. Because if she is not careful, then this partner could bring about danger that can bring about injury and crime and violence and trauma on a person's life and career and love life. This is what it came up. Um, it also came up that a person with Venus and Aquarius at 9 degrees on the dark side, dealing with a dark side partner, will or can experience like severe afflictions, suffering, liability to becoming perilous, or some type of affection dealing with the body. So of course I have more information, but I'm not going to say it on YouTube. They don't pay me enough, and I'm still doing investigations. You know what I mean? And silence to the women, silence to the men, and involved in domestic violence situations. I know how heavy it is. Um, when you're faced with a situation, And you have to decide to walk away. You have to decide to walk away. And that walking away includes your family being broken. And you have to decide, and you have to make a big, huge decision. If walking away is going to save your ego, or if it's going to save your family, if it's going to save your life. And that's a big decision that a lot of people are not clear. They don't have an understanding. They don't know. They don't realize that the decision that you're making is a big decision. And if you don't make that proper decision, then it's going to be mm, when you turn back and you look back at the house that you built with this person, the kids that you have with this person, the family that you're building with this person, you have to look back and you have to make a decision whether you're going to give all of that up and start over, or you're going to give this person just one more chance. And how many women, how many men give that person just one more chance, and that one more chance was their last chance, and nobody can help them make that decision but themselves. Let me go back into the chat because I don't got time for all this. This is just too much. Anyway. Domestic violence is on the rise. Domestic violence is on the rise. You want to believe it or not, it's on the rise, okay? It's on the rise. People, the government is pushing us to be in the crib with people that we don't like, even though we chose him as a partner because it looks good on paper, it looks good on social media, it looks good on Instagram, it looks good on YouTube. We can show off and we can pretend that we live in this perfect life, even though we're living in hell and paradise. Whatever. I'm not not gonna even go there. I'm not gonna even go there. I mean, it's just too much going on. Anyway, Domestic violence is on the rise. This lady here, she was 30 years old. Sun sign in Capricorn, once again, Venus in Capricorn. Venus in Aquarius, I believe, at 9 degrees. And it's coming up that she should avoid dangerous partners. Because I believe, I'm not sure, again, you in the astrology community, but it is coming up that this degree is going to bring about like some type of like danger or something in the home. And then I've been talking about Mars and Cancer for this damn near this past week. Almost every story that I've been coming up with during the time of COVID has been connected to 22 degrees, 918, and also Mars and Cancer. It's dealing with the home. And what does the government want us to do? They want us to run in the home and run away from this COVID. When you're running away from the statistics of COVID, which is so thin, okay, and you're not dealing with reality, that COVID is a duality of energy that is bringing about domestic violence in the home. So you're running from COVID, but you're not facing the reality that a lot of people are suffering. I've been saying this for the longest while. I'm getting tired of saying it. It's kind of boring even talking about it at this point, but COVID doesn't work for everybody. Because everybody is not a fucking introvert, not a fucking hermit, not a fucking what do you call it? This person on the internet, the green frog. Everybody don't move like that. Some people need to be out shucking and jiving, kicking ass, shuffling snow, pouring concrete down. They need to be out. They need to be in the clubs. They need to be in people's faces. They need to be just exerting their energy. That's why we have introverts, and that's why we have extroverts. Okay, we have people who do well on the back end of life, and we have people who do well on the external side of life. That's the yin and yang, that's the polarity, and we need both of those energies. But when you're forcing an energy of extroversion that you want them to stay in the house and hide from an energy that doesn't have that much validity and statistics and research as to the danger that it's causing compared to the spiritual energy of domestic violence, um, all kind of abuses on every kind of level that you can think of that is secretive right now, that we're not going to hear about until years later. Years later. You're not going to hear about all of this until probably maybe 10, 15 years from now. Because right now we're so focused on money, and we're so focused on COVID, and we're so focused on who we can manipulate in the mind to give us currency. When in reality, real life is happening and people are losing it. And they are not fucking with the whole idea of hiding from COVID in the crib with nowhere to go. So, once again, I have a lot of information on this situation. I'm not going to put it out there um, because I have to do my own research, of course. But just so far, I've been talking about it all week. And basically, I've been showing you guys that, it seems to be a pattern of something that's been going on with like the whole Mars and Cancer thing that I've been telling you about, that is like domestic violence that seems to be taking place within the home. And whenever you're dealing with like degrees that are delicate, it can bring on that energy even more. So even though you may try to avoid it, you may try to skirt around it, you may try to act like it doesn't exist or it can't happen to you, or whatever the situation is, you think you're so fly like that. See, the universe brings about an energy that is gonna push it in your face. It's gonna force you to deal with it. It's going to force you to deal with it. And this dude, he had a sun in Gemini, 24 degrees. But he also had a moon in Aquarius at 22 degrees. If this is his birth date, it may be wrong. But if this is what it's coming up as. So he does have the 22 degrees. And his wife, I believe this is her birth data. She is born January 13, 1981. She also has 22 degrees, but it's in Sun and Capricorn at 22 degrees. Something, just looking at her chart, not just really, I'm not digging into it deeply, but just looking at some of this information on here, some of these things kind of like caught my attention. Some of the things that caught my attention was this right here, was this the Venus in Aquarius at 9 degrees. That definitely caught my attention. Of course, the sun in Capricorn at 22 degrees, that also has caught my attention. And then if we go back to his chart, his sun is at Gemini, is at 24 degrees. But look, his moon is at Aquarius at 22 degrees. And also, something that caught my attention also was his Venus right here in Gemini at 5 degrees. And then look at our friend right here. Look at our friend. Look at our friend that continues to show up in domestic violence situations that I've talked about on my featured video that is private, and it will stay private until I'm ready to release, maybe not on YouTube. Um, but my wonderful Mars and Cancer. And remember, I was talking about in my Mars and Cancer video, guys. Remember, I was telling you that, anybody that has this kind of energy in their chart, that this is the type of person who will be arguing with people, especially like females in the home for some reason. You know what I mean? And if it's in a critical degree, we want to look at that even deeper, and we want to be conscious about our dealings with people within that area of our life. So even though the energy sits there and there's nothing that we can do about it, because it's a facilitated energy that wants to come forth in our life to bring about karma to a certain degree, we have to realize that we have to do something about this. And either we're going to do good or we're going to do bad. So sometimes when you're dealing with the universe, we can't control the universe. It takes on its own energy, and basically, it's going to give you the seeds that you have sown during that time of whatever in your life. So Mars in Cancer at 16 degrees. You guys can look it up for yourself. You don't have to take the information from me, which I haven't discussed. But this dude does have Mars in Cancer. And like I said before, Mars in Cancer is a dangerous energy. It is debilitated, but it also can be good, though. You know how it could be good? Because you can take that and you can nurture it. So instead of you getting your ass whipped and fucked up in the crib, because there's something going on with the crib with that Mars in Cancer. Maybe you can take the energy and you can maybe build a home, buy a home, paint a home, renovate a home, embrace the women in your home. Do something that's going to be something that's going to facilitate the home area, and be conscious of arguments and stuff like that that you may have within the home with people, when you're dealing with Mars and Cancer. So this is a very dangerous, debilitating degree. And so far, it's been coming up in a lot of charts that have been in dangerous situations um, with that Mars and Cancer. Young woman. She had beautiful kids too. Beautiful. Look at her. She's so beautiful. Beautiful girl. You're a beautiful lady. And you wanted your family. And you were doing everything that, society wanted you to do. But there was an energy that came about. But you did everything that you were supposed to do.